A Short and Easy Method of Prayer by Madame Guyon. Chapter 4. The Second Stage of Prayer. Some call the second stage of prayer the prayer of contemplation or the prayer of faith and stillness, while others call it the prayer of simplicity. I shall here use the name the prayer of simplicity, as it seems to me the most appropriate one. The other descriptions imply a much more exalted state of prayer than that I am going to talk about now. When the soul has been for some time exercised in the way I have mentioned, she finds that she is gradually enabled to approach God with confidence, that practicing the presence of God is achieved with much less difficulty, and that prayer becomes a simple and delightful experience. The soul knows that this is the true way of finding God, and she feels that his name is like perfume poured out. Song of Solomon 1:3. But the method of praying must be altered, and what I now prescribe must be faithfully followed. The soul must not be distracted by any of the difficulties she may encounter in this method of praying. First, as soon as the soul places herself by faith in the presence of God and maintains an attitude of prayer before Him, let her remain like this for a little time in a profound and respectful silence. But if at the beginning, in making her act of faith, she feels some small pleasant sensation of the divine presence, let her remain there without being concerned about the subject of her meditation, and proceed no further, but carefully cherish this feeling as long as it continues. As soon as it fades, she may bring the will to life with a thought about God's love. If this does succeed in giving her back her rich experience of God's presence, let her stay there for as long as this continues. The smouldering fire must be gently fanned, but as soon as it is burning brightly, again we must stop blowing it in case we put it out completely through our own efforts. I would warmly recommend that no one should finish praying without remaining for a further short time in God's presence in respectful silence. It is also very important for the soul to start praying in the correct frame of mind and spirit. The soul should have a pure and disinterested love, as it seeks nothing from God but only to please Him and to do His will. Any servant who only works with an eye on his reward makes himself unworthy of any reward at all. Do not turn to prayer hoping to enjoy spiritual delights. Rather, come to prayer totally content to receive nothing, or to receive great blessing from God's hand, whichever should be your Heavenly Father's will for you at that time. This will enable you to live close to God in times of sadness as well as in times when you are being comforted by God. It will also prevent you from being surprised when you go through times of spiritual aridity or when you feel as if you're rejected by God.